There is no doubt in my mind that HBAR is about to create overnight millionaires this bull run. That's right, this bull run. And we have to talk about it. We're going to be addressing it. I'm also going to be addressing why Hedera right now currently is one of the most bullish altcoins that you could be holding in your portfolio right now. So with that being said, welcome to the channel, everyone. My name is Nick. For those that are new to the channel, hopefully by the end of this video, you do become a subscriber. And with that being said, let's address it. So the overall market has been erupting. I don't think that you guys need me to tell you this. If we look at the last, 7-day percentages gained, HBAR is number 2 out of the top 100 in terms of gains, up about 10.4%. At the time that I'm reading this on the 24-hour span, up 81% on the last 7 days. It's been a very exciting ride. But what's even crazier about HBAR is the volume. Guys, we've been watching the volume on HBAR going crazy. I mean, if we're going back here, it was like 2 billion plus. It's still over 2 billion in the last 24 hours. It did surge all the way up to almost like 17 cents, almost retesting the yearly highs. I know that back here, it's kind of already showing us, getting very close to it. I think it was like around 18, almost 20 cents or so. I wouldn't be surprised if we did break over that very, very soon. I mean, if we're really kind of looking at most of this market, majority of the big gainers have been utility-based projects. For an example, if we go back over here and we go to the top gainers and the top losers in the last, 24 hours on the top 500, look at some of the big gainers here. XLM, Quorium, these are 2 utility projects. VeChain, another great project. There's so many on this list that I could just go through and mention, but this is exactly why I keep telling you guys to focus on these projects. The last 7 days, XLM, Sologenic, Quorium, Casper, Hedera. I mean, the overall gains in this market are just beginning, but it feels as though we are watching a lot of the utility-based projects and the old dino coins, as they call them, really being the big gainers. Even in the last 30 days in the top 100, you can actually see across the board, majority of these being major utility-based projects. And I do believe that these are just the beginning moves to what's to come. Now, what's crazy about Hedera is that for the most part, HBAR hasn't really been talked about by some very large accounts. If we go over here, Lucky Luciano Bitcoin actually posted this, and this is an individual that has 2.2 million followers, okay? And we have Solana and XRP are going parabolic. HBAR is following the trend. HBAR DeFi trading volume reaches a Hedera record-breaking 2 billion USD. HBAR to $1 is a FUD in my opinion. And he actually has us, pumping, retesting about 12 cents, which I actually think is very fair, and then surging to almost like 20 cents plus. Now, he does say HBAR to $1 is FUD. I do believe that HBAR is going to be one of the biggest projects in this space. I've always said that. My overall prediction for HBAR, we're going to go over that towards the end of this video because I feel as though it's fair to value it after we go over the information that I do have in this video. But if we're talking about HBAR to $1, I think that is a beginning stage. We'll talk about that. But here we have HBAR over the last 12 months. Again, we could see this thing surging. A lot of people are now looking into HBAR. They're now trying to figure out what HBAR is. What is HBAR, right? But also Hedera HBAR is surging as well in terms of interest. The retail crowd is slowly but surely getting here. Yes, there has been a large influx over the last couple of days and over the last couple of weeks ever since the election, because that's when crypto started to go parabolic. Bitcoin nearing $100,000. I don't know where it's going to go by the time that this video does go live, but I wouldn't be surprised to see it over $100,000 by the end of this week, which would be incredible to see, especially from, mainstream media, perspective, especially with, bringing more retail crowd to crypto. But we'll definitely have to watch, wait and see. The overall thing that I'm really kind of focused on here is, Hedera tech, because the tech behind Hedera has been very, very incredible to watch grow and become even bigger than it already was. I've been talking about Hedera since going all the way back to 2021. I've watched Hedera become a very populated chain. I've watched Hedera, continue to push update after update after update and just continues to expand rapidly. And this is, something that I always put a spotlight on because I don't think people realize just how big Hedera has grown to be since going all the way back to 2021. And if you have been around since then, you know that Hedera is completely different than 2021, especially with a lot more marketing. But if we actually look at this chart here, this is how carbon negative Hedera actually is versus, Binance Coin, Solana, Near, Tron, Avalanche, even Visa as well. And this is no joke, okay? This is absolutely no joke when we're really kind of looking at how efficient Hedera really is versus a lot of the competitors in this space. And this is actually from a UCL overall report. And again, this is a big thing to focus on when we are looking at where majority of the world is really kind of headed. Sustainability is a big factor, and as we do really kind of start to adopt new age technology, they are going to be adopting the best in class, most efficient technology, and Hedera definitely is right there. Especially even if we're talking about transactional use cases, TPS, Hedera can scale to 10,000 plus TPS, and we also know that with just one shard, they can achieve 500,000 transactions per second. It does have unlimited scalability tied to it. Also, ABFT for security purposes, the highest grade security. But also, as we look at the fees, the transaction confirmation time, and even the energy consumption, it is night and day when we compare it to Bitcoin and even Ethereum. Now, if we're looking at other competitors, yes, it is also night and day. This is why I say Hedera is one of the best technologies in this space when we are looking at something for the long term, the midterm, and even the short term as an investment vehicle. But also, let's actually look at some of the other big factors that are really kind of proving that Hedera is a massive player globally. For an example, big shout to Zepsi over here. We have India's #1 university for engineering just launched a startup incubator on Hedera. 12 teams built up of India's brightest young minds will be launching on Hedera per year. The HBAR ecosystem is just getting started. And yes, a lot of these accelerators are now being pushed around Hedera. It is only a matter of time until we see a massive influx of builders on Hedera, pushing community-led projects forward and ultimately launching incredible Web3 dApps. And I'm very excited about this, especially when we are talking about how big some of these accounts are, and also the names that are here, pushing Hedera forward. It's pretty crazy to see. But also, over here, this just got recently posted by HBAR Foundation, French state-owned energy supplier, EDF official, has multiple projects in development on the Hedera Guardian. Together with Redex and Recursive Labs, EDF completed their POC for renewable energy certificates as RWAs on Hedera. And these are some of the biggest companies out there, some of the largest players out there, and they're building on Hedera because of the tech, because of the efficiencies that the tech actually has to offer. It's only a matter of time, in my opinion, until we start to see even bigger names coming over to the Hedera GC. But also, check out this. This is the Hedera Guardian, is the leading solution for bringing climate assets on-chain as institutional RWAs. Live from COP29, this is Evercity Eco, shares their vision for bringing these assets into the Hedera DeFi economy. Check it out.
Digital technologies actually open up this space to new investor types. In two ways. So first, it's now available, it's now possible to, bundle the credits, the projects, experiment with structured finance, with different, bonds or loans that are somehow connected with the carbon benefits of the projects, or maybe even biodiversity benefits, right? We're seeing this as well. But from the other side, this actually opens up the space for retail investors, for example. And if there is a trust chain, then any person can see the whole thing, can see where the money goes, and can become an investor into a carbon project. Because before that, whatever was offered to just people was that carbon offsetting. But it's great, and many people really offset their footprints. But this is some sort of like a voluntary commitment of a person, sort of charity, right? Which is great. But now, thanks to this, digital tools, these people can also become proactive investors into the projects, and they can get credits that later on can be sold on exchanges or put into liquidity pools, which are Web3 mechanisms that provides certain yield on assets, but also, they can later on offset their footprints, but this can have much more impact and provide the upfront financing for the projects.
And this is just one example of real world use case potential on Hedera. I mean, listen, what Hedera has to offer, especially globally, is just completely different than any other chain because of those efficiencies that the overall technology does offer. And we have been watching a lot of institutional grade adoption of Hedera over the last couple weeks, especially even the last couple months. I mean, 2024 has been an incredible year of growth for Hedera, from a lot of the institutional focus from tokenization use cases to even things like the Hedera Guardian being tapped in. This is only going to continue. And also, they do push institutional DeFi forward as well, which is a big one. You know, I do focus on that with the XRP Ledger, with Ripple as well, and even Stellar with XLM. But outside of this, we know that Hedera is about to go to the next level. We hear this from Lehman Baird, the co-founder of Hedera, and this is exciting times ahead for Hedera. The governing council is growing with 32 members. New features are being added, and there's a wide range of use cases such as building trust in AI data and, with immutable records on Hedera. The future is all about transparency, security, and innovation. Check this out.
So Hedera is going great. We have a council that's up to 32 members now. Ledger itself, the software, is doing extremely well. We have lots of features we want to add to it, so we'll be adding more features as time goes on. We also are building things around it with mirror nodes and hash scan and other things to use it better. And so we'll continue doing those, we'll continue growing the council, and just continue seeing where we're going from here. We have a wide range of use cases. One fun use case is Equity Lab. So they are doing something at the intersection of DLTs and artificial intelligence. So one of the big problems with artificial intelligence is that you can have bias in the AI based on what data it was trained on. And so if you want to trust an AI, you need to trust the data. You need to know what data. You have to have proofs of that, and you want people not changing their records afterwards about what data they had used. And so what they are doing is they are putting this immutably in Hedera. They are building this so that you could say, this AI was trained on this data. And they can even do more complicated things, like say, well, this AI was trained on this data, and you've got this model, and then we use that model plus some more data to get a new model. And so they have a whole tree of the whole history, the provenance of all the data that was used, and they can have programs in the computers themselves that are doing the learning that then record it. And so we can see immutably where it came from to build trust into the AI system. This may become more and more important as time goes on.
And again, you know, as we really look at AI projects around crypto, they have been exploding. I do believe that they explode even higher. All of this stuff, right? Everything that I just went over. This is a very small piece, by the way, of what's actually happening on Hedera. If you guys want to learn more, I have a ton of HBAR videos. But everything that we just talked about is all pressure to push Hedera even higher. So as we really look at $1 being the original price prediction, if we're talking about this bull run, my initial targets are $1 to about $2, okay? Just full transparency. But if we're not being conservative, if we're being completely moon boyish, okay, I could see HBAR going to about $2 to $4 this bull run. And I don't think that that is a crazy amount either when we look at, you know, ADA, Dogecoin, and all these other projects that have surged significantly. I just believe that Hedera is extremely bullish today more than ever before. The offerings that are on Hedera, everything that's happening on Hedera, the building, the DeFi, everything makes it so bullish, okay? And I do think that this time around, with everything that's happening around Hedera and also the marketing, I mean, listen, the Hedera account is already over 363,000 followers. I remember when they hit 300,000. The HBAR Foundation's account is well over 110,000. And the overall engagement on both of these accounts are just completely crazy to me. And also retail focus, retail engagement, and just the overall community around Hedera has grown so significantly in the last 12 months that I just don't see how Hedera doesn't explode to, one, a new all-time high, but also, you know, takes out some of the market caps that we saw back in 2021 at all-time highs for like projects like ADA, for an example, or, you know, others like, you know, we could just throw in the picture XRP, for an example, right? So as we really look at HBAR, that's my overall prediction. I do think that the initial target should be around roughly $1 to $2. But after that, you know, I do think that HBAR has what it takes to hit at least like $2 to $4. But that's a moon boyish target. Just make sure to take profits initially. Don't get too ahead of yourselves. Don't get too excited. And just make sure that you are, you know, being patient. You're being just cautious, okay? Because everyone has a target in mind. Just have an exit plan. Have an exit plan and abide by it. So with that being said, I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys definitely leave a like, subscribe to notifications on if you guys have more free content. You guys are more than welcome to follow me on Twitter and join the free Discord down in the description below. And with that being said, guys, it's been Nick. Thanks for watching. Peace out.